Ladies and gentlemen, the Nintendo Switch has been out for a few months. I can't really remember right now, but it started off a little slow, but I do think we are getting more and more games. And in this video, we're going to go over 5 games that came out recently for the Switch 2 that you absolutely need to be playing. So let's go ahead and get right into this video. Yeah, check it out. The quality is back. I don't know how I broke my camera for a few days, but I think it was just like a corrupted SD card and that corrupted the camera and something happened. As long as you're watching this video, that means everything is back to normal. So that is good news. So how do we celebrate? Well, with 5 new Switch 2 games that came out in the past week, and all of these games you should be playing. They're all amazing, so let's talk about them. Before we get started, if you could hit a like and subscribe, that would truly mean the world to me. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram so we can keep our amazing communities growing, and let's go ahead and get into this video. So the first game I want to talk about is Lynked Banner of the Spark. And you may say, Mr. Robot Joe, what the hell is that? And that's a fair question. So this game got shown off at that recent Nintendo Direct, but I feel like nobody really paid attention to it, or they glossed over it because we were all waiting for the first party stuff. But I'm happy I went back and investigated because this game is amazing. It's the year 30XX. And the natural world has been overrun by an evil robot force. But all is not lost. As you rescue and join forces with a charming band of robot companions called the Unibots, you will form a community of fearless friends and work together to build a new future from the ground up. This is like a life sim slash roguelike RPG slash a bunch of other stuff, and it looks and runs amazing. I truly think this is like one of the best games released recently, and like I was saying, it just flew under the radar for one reason or another. So I would say if you want to play something a little different, or something that's familiar but still different at the same time, I would definitely check this game out. It's fully priced at $25. There is a Switch version as well, but the Switch 2 version just looks beautiful. Yeah man, not a bad way to start this video. So we also have to talk about Cronos: The New Dawn. Set in a grim world where Eastern European brutalism meets retro-futurist technology, Cronos: The New Dawn lets you experience a gripping story that straddles a line between past and future. In the past, you will witness a world in the throes of change, a cataclysmic event that forever altered humanity. Meanwhile, in the ravaged wastelands of the future, every moment is a fight for survival against dangerous abominations that will test both your reflexes and tactical thinking. So you guys know, I mean, you probably don't know. Maybe you know. I don't even know what I'm saying. If you've been watching my channel for a while, you'll know I don't really care that much about survival or horror or survival horror because I feel like it's already been done or it's all the same. This game right here though, I think is really doing something different. And just at the fact that this runs the way it does and looks the way it does on the Switch 2, and you can play a game like this portably, yes, I believe this released for other consoles as well, but from everything I've been seeing, I think the Switch 2 is honestly the best way to play this game. So now let's talk about Star Wars Outlaws, a game that I think I wasn't going to talk about. And I'll be honest, when this game was coming out, before we seen real hands-on footage, I was one of the YouTubers saying, don't play it, skip it, this is crazy. But I was 100% wrong. And to be honest, I'm glad I was wrong. I think it's probably the best looking game we have on the Switch 2. And that's hard for me to admit, because Cyberpunk is one of my favorite games of all time. And I still think Cyberpunk looks amazing on the Switch 2. But the way they optimized Star Wars Outlaws for the Switch 2, Ubisoft, man, they get a lot of crap, and for great reasons, but this is something they should be rewarded for, and they kind of are. You know, a lot of people are wondering, why don't we get really popular games from Ubisoft for the Switch 2. And we will get those games eventually. But the way these companies work is they spend a lot of money on these games, and then sometimes those games don't do good, like this game didn't initially do good. But you have the Switch 2 that is selling like crazy, so that's why you put a failed game on a new console like that to get new eyes on it. And I'd be curious to see the numbers, but I feel like this game has already sold more than it did on every other platform combined. So it looks amazing. If you're a Star Wars fan, I feel like it's a no-brainer. It's open world, it's something you can spend hours upon hours in, and it's just a testament to the power and performance of the Switch 2.
Okay, files. Gotta find a terminal. Whoa! Watch your step, Nix. I got this.
So the game that I am playing non-stop currently is Hollow Knight Silksong. And it is crazy, man. We waited so long for this game. And I mean, I think the game is a masterpiece. I do think it's a 10 out of 10. But I do think the game was unnecessarily, like, overly hard. Whoa, that's what she said. What am I doing here? We're talking about video games. But the game was a little too difficult. And the crazy thing is, Team Cherry listened. Like, if the bosses or enemies are difficult, that's just the nature of Hollow Knight, right? But when the environments are doing double damage for no reason, it kind of makes you take a step back and be like, really? You know what I mean? Am I dying because I touched a spike on the ground? So they actually went and patched that. And I think that's cool that they actually listened. Hollow Knight originally sucked me in because of the atmosphere. It invoked feelings in me that I didn't even know video games could like make me feel that way. It made me feel awe and wonder, and it just felt amazing to explore. Hollow Knight Silksong does that times 10, maybe even times 100. It is such a good feeling to explore and find a new area, and then you get lost. But I would encourage you to get lost in this game, because when you get lost, you find new stuff, find new bosses, find new equipment and secrets, and then you backtrack a little bit and maybe you were stuck on a boss, but you got lost over here and you found some new items and now you can go beat that boss. And the NPCs don't even speak in a real language, but I feel like they have so much depth somehow. So if you're on the fence about this game, I will say this. If you didn't like the first game, I'll be honest, I don't recommend this game, and it is harder than the first game. But if you found any redeeming qualities in the first Hollow Knight, give this one a try, man. It's just a really special game. And the last game I want to talk about today is Story of Seasons Grand Bazaar. So it's strange because this game was announced for the Switch 2 really early. I don't know if it was in that first initial Switch 2 Direct, but I feel like right after that Direct, pre-orders for this game were popping up on Amazon, like the Switch 2 version. And I feel like since this game got announced so early, like people cared about it and then completely forgot about it. But it came out recently and it is a great game. Build your farm in Zephyr Town and breathe new life into the once famous Bazaar. Set up your stall to sell produce and goods from the crops and animals you raise on your farm, and meet charming townsfolk to befriend and romance as you help the close-knit community thrive. I really like games like this, but I have to admit there's kind of too many of them. I feel like the Switch made that farmy, chill vibe style game really popular, and then we got just way too many of them. But this one right here I do think is really worth playing, and this is a great palate cleanser. Like, yes, it's a game you could probably play for 100 hours and play every day, and you'll probably have a lot of fun. But this is a really good game to like jump into for an hour a day, right? Maybe you're playing Hollow Knight like me and you're getting destroyed, and you're like, man, I need to take a break. But I still want to play a game while I take a break. This would be the game that I would recommend. Ladies and gentlemen, there were 5 new Switch 2 games that I think are worth playing. Yes, I do think the Switch 2 started off slow, but that whole thing people are doing saying the Switch 2 has no games, it has no games. Dude, the console just came out, and it's got a ton of games. And it's got great games like this. As always, in the comments below, let me know what you guys are thinking. I would love to hear from you. If you made it all the way to this part of the video, if you could do me a favor, hit a like and subscribe. Follow your boy on Twitter and Instagram so we can keep the communities growing. And you guys know me, I'll see you very soon with a new video. Peace out.